Hi, everyone. Hi, Michelle. We'll start in a couple of minutes just to start right on the dot. In the meantime, I'll introduce myself. So I am Dalinda Perez Alvarez, and I am the Deputy Head of International Recruitment at the University of Edinburgh. The University of Edinburgh in Scotland is one of the members of the Chamber of Commerce here in Chile, the British Chilean Chamber of Commerce. So very happy to be here with everyone today. I'll wait, as I say, a couple of minutes, so we start at 4:10 on the dot to give everyone a chance to come back from their coffee break. Good. Well, hi, everyone. Happy to restart at 4:10 precisely. As I was saying earlier, I am Dalinda Perez Alvarez, Deputy Head of International Recruitment at the University of Edinburgh in Scotland. And I am very happy to be one of the members of the British Chilean Chamber of Commerce. Thanks everyone for the invite today. And I am very, very pleased to introduce to you Michelle Marie Molanphy, and I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Thank you, Michelle. Michelle is a special needs academic coordinator at Lincoln International Academy here in Santiago. So I want to say a little bit about her. She is an educational psychologist. She has a master's in special education and a master's in imaginative education. With 14 years of experience in special education, she began working as a shadow for students with autism spectrum disorder, then worked in a specialized institution for Down syndrome students. And in 2013, she started at Lincoln International Academy, supporting the implementation of the special needs program, leading and providing support with interventions that seek to ensure the greater good of students. How nice. Addressing challenges in contexts of high physical, psychological, and cultural diversity, seeking comprehensive well-being through the development of skills, competencies, knowledge necessary for students to be a contribution to society. So the title of today's presentation is Inclusive Education, Learning from Experiences, Successes, and Challenges in an ELT Environment. So this is going to be a talk in which we will get to know the history of Lincoln International Academy and their path on becoming an inclusive school. It will outline the primary goals of the special needs program and show some assessment tools and methods used to determine a student's needs. Also, it will present various teaching strategies and in special needs classrooms addressing common challenges and share solutions to overcome these named challenges. Finally, Michelle is going to share real-life examples of students who have thrived in the program, which is great to know. Thank you, Michelle. Welcome, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, Dalinda. Good afternoon, everyone. It's really a pleasure to be here today. Now I'm going to be sharing my screen. Okay, I'm going to start with some context on Lincoln International Academy. So Lincoln is a family school founded in 1976 by Mr. Robert Sequest and his wife, Veronica Caroca. This school is close and warm environment. It's a family school with long-term commitment. The Sequest family continues to lead this educational project. John Sequest is the headmaster, Christine Sequest, head of admissions, and Daniela Humor, that is John's wife, is also head of the admissions department. We have former students today that are collaborators, like teachers, directors, coordinators, psychologists, educational psychologists, also administrators. We have 40 generations of graduates in Lo Arnetea and 7 in Ticureo, because we have 2 schools that works the same. And today we have more than 2,000 students in our 2 locations. Okay. So, well, our vision is to be the best school community for our country. And our mission is to educate complete bilingual human beings who will contribute to build a better world. We are a bilingual school. And how we teach. We have strategies that we can plan multidisciplinary learning experience with different signatures, like work with music teachers and math teachers all together, or science teachers. We have learning focused on skill development and game-based learning. Our pillars are that our our students are in the center. They are the most important things for us. And we are now implementing the international curriculums that are Finnish education and the IB. We search for academic excellence. We also think that sports are really important to the development of all the areas. We are a bilingual school, so English is really important for us, like a second language, but we seek that all our students, when they graduate, they are like native speakers. Math is one of our pillars also, and our community, because we have to work all together to reach our goals. Okay, English is a really important part of our school because we are bilingual. We provide our students with the skills needed to perform adequately in English in an assortment of situations, whether they are on Disney, or if they are in a professional setting, or they are just having a talk with a friend. We work with CBI, acquire the language while using the context of any subject matter, so that students learn the language by using it within that specific context. We really think that being immersed in a school that they are listening to English all day long, they are going to be able to use this language to communicate. We have CLT, teaching language through communication. And the most important thing for us is that they manage to communicate, because we have special needs students that sometimes have difficulty with language. So the most important thing is that they can communicate no matter what. In the classroom, we have our textbooks, okay, that we use in different grades. We have Phonics for preschool to 2nd grade. We have the Cambridge Global English from 3rd to 9th grade, the IB English Language B from 10th grade, and the IB English Language B from 10th to 11th grade. Our methodology is that we work on these 4 pillars that are listening, speaking, reading, and writing. We use Cambridge recordings for listening, videos, and podcasts. On speaking, they have to create speeches, impromptu speeches, role play, class discussions, debates, and spelling, and different things. In reading, we have a reading plan. And this year we started to trying out the electivity. so that students could choose between 3 or 4 books, which one they would like to read, and the idea is to motivate them to read. We have reading and skill-based reading comprehension exercises, use of the keys to success, and we also use the reading A to C from 1st to 3rd grade. And in writing, we have writing tasks based on prompts, journaling, creating of different types of short text, and the most important thing here in Lincoln is the HMC, the headmaster composition, that they start in 4th grade till 12th grade, and it's really useful for students. Revision and rewriting of previously done text, RIS, hamburger method, and P. And we participate in different activities in the ESU Chile English Speaking Union, the Spelling Bee, the poetry recitation, the speaking competition, creative writing competition. And also we have the Cambridge test in the different grades of our school, so we can get our students the certification that they need if they want to go to study to other countries. The thing is that in this area, not all of our students can participate because they are like really a high level. They need a high level of English to participate. And we have students that had Down syndrome or that have other difficulties with language. So we would like to have the opportunity to give them some context or some participation in these types of activities so they can also be part of it. Sometimes we do things inside our school, like we have drama here, and our students are preparing a talk show for the school, but they would love to compete also with other schools. And English teachers, or well, all our teachers, because all the classes are in English, they have the English warnings inside of the classroom because everybody has to speak in English. English Rockstar to give a positive recognition to our students. House Point Tally, show pictures to make vocabulary clear, put vocabulary in context. This is really important for students to learn the vocabulary on their own, because we have many students from different parts of the world, and when they start here, sometimes they don't speak English and either Spanish, so they have to start learning vocabulary in the real context. As teachers explain what something means with other words, with trying not to use Spanish, use charades to explain vocabulary, monitor for in situ feedback when writing, make students repeat after the teacher when they don't know how to say something. That's really important, to make the student repeat so we can assure that they are learning how to pronounce it. Provide a set of basic useful phrases for students visible somewhere in the classroom, visual aids. We have the rule that there is no Spanish in classrooms and in all around the school, but we have special cases that we need to translate and give the opportunity to students to communicate in Spanish because it is their mother tongue. We are a diverse and inclusive school. We think that all students matter and they matter equally. For us, all our students are the same. We have to work for each of them the same way and try to reach all of their potential. Some data analysis. We have in Barnechea campus 672 students, and for 0.7% of our students have special needs. And in Ticureo, we have 1,349 students, and 2.5% of them are special needs students. Today in Chile, there is a new law, that inclusion law, that it's mandatory for schools from 2023 till 2027, that we reach the 5% of the students with special needs. So in Barnechea, we're almost there, but in Chicureo, we have to receive more students, but here, Lo Barnechea campus is in Santiago. So we usually receive more students with special needs here in Santiago because you have all the therapists and specialists here. A difference that in Ticureo campus, that is a smaller place, is like a new place that had been growing but doesn't have all the specialties that young people with special needs need. I want to start with this image. I know that most of you must seen it before, but we can think about it. For a fair selection, everybody has to take the same exam. Please climb that tree. If we analyze this, we have different types of animals. So what is a fair selection? Do you think that is fair for them to have to make the same test? What could be done differently? Do similar situations happen in the classroom, in your classrooms? What do you think about this image? If you can share your thoughts. Does anybody think about a way that this could be fair for everyone, for each animal? Why isn't it fair? How would you do it differently? Going back a little bit, maybe we could ask, okay, let's see, it's not fair. Some animal would need help in order to climb the tree. Yes. Diversify the task given according to their skills. So we can diversify the task or adapt the way they should be evaluated. Maybe some can climb just half of the tree. Other one would need a ladder to get to the top, and we can give them that support. So we have our special need program that seeks to adapt our teaching methods based on the needs of each student. And we have 3 different programs. Here in Barnechea, we only have 2 because of the space and different things. And in Tigureo, we have the 3. The regular program is for students who have the autonomy necessary to work independently in the regular classroom with all the subjects with the required curricular adaptations. Additionally, they can receive from 1 to 3 hours of support in the resource room if they need it with a special need teacher. Then we have the mixed program that are students that have some subjects in workshops mode, and they can receive between 3 to 24 hours of support in the resource room, both in group and individually. But most of the time we work in small groups. Also, they present the necessary autonomy to remain in certain instances within the regular classroom. And finally, we have our specialized program that are students who need support and direct mediation to carry out the proposed activities. They attend a maximum of 10 hours weekly to the regular classroom, and they spend around 30 hours in a specialized room with 2 special teachers or 3, and it is possible to have support inside their regular classroom during the hours they need it. So, you can go up and down in these programs because we, as special need teachers, with the support of the signature teachers, also our directors, need to make a plan, an individual plan to write the goals for that student or students and see which or what kind of support they need. So if the support they need is only adaptations like shorten the test or evaluating in a different way, not writing but orally, we can make them participate in the regular program with a standard curriculum and with some support. If that modifications and that plan works, the student is able to continue this program with this support. But if we see that the student is having trouble to get the goals for the standard curriculum in the regular classroom, we intensify the support. We work the content and the objectives in small groups in the resource room with a pedagogical assessment and with modified curricular plan. And also when we have students that lack of autonomy, they need someone like a shadow to be there with them, and they have really trouble with their speaking. We analyze if there is necessary to move them to the specialized program with a special support in small groups in a special class. We tried always that our students participate in the different activities of the school and also be part of the music class, art, physical education, guidance with their peers in the regular classroom. But the other classes, they can take it in the specialized room with an individual plan. Well, before 2013, Lincoln had already students with special needs, but most of them, not all, but most of them were students with a shadow. But it was not easy to have shadows because they interfere with the autonomy of the students. They tend to assist them too much, and sometimes they excluded the student from the activity and the things that were happening in the classroom. So it was really difficult. We have to analyze a lot the role of the shadow, how was the best way to do it. Sometimes they were not specialists, they were like the nanny or some familiar, so it was really difficult to get the advance that we want. And we started thinking, how can we do it? And in 2013, we started to arrange this special needs program. We started with a small group of students here in Barnechea and in Tigureo. Lincoln got special need teachers to support the students and all the team. And we went to a trip to Cuba. So we were in an expository classes, theoretical. And also we went to the different schools in Cuba to see how they were working with the special needs. And some ideas that we got for the 3 programs or the 3 levels of support came from this trip and from the experience we had, because at first the special needs teachers made all the materials for the classroom teacher, worked with the students, support the students inside the classroom like a co-teacher. But it started to happen that the teachers say, I can't work with him or her, it's your student, it's not my student. And we needed teachers to involve in this work and do it together. So we started with these programs or levels of support, and we share responsibilities. From 2014 to 2015, we started with the 3 levels of support, and we started creating students' profiles that I'm going to show you later. And this student profile have all the information about the student needs, his abilities, his challenges, and the responsibilities. It has a weekly plan that specifies which person or of the team is in charge of making the materials or the adequations or modifications that those students need. So it's a shared responsibility. It also guides us and how are we going to work together with meetings, the schedule of the students, how many hours is it in the mixed program, how many hours is in the regular class. Then in 2016 and 2017, we started with math and Spanish workshops and with the individualized work plan. And these workshops were good. It was a great result for students because they needed to be supported in a more small group and be prepared to be able to work in their regular classroom. But we started to see that it was important to do it with all the classes. So in 2018 and 2022, we started with workshops of every class, math, Spanish, science, social, English workshops. And we divided the special needs teachers by cycle. So in preschool, we have one special teacher that is in charge of the students that are in the program in preschool. The same in infant, middle, and high school. And from 2022 and 2023, the workshops where we saw the need to change the workshop in a more functional way based on life skills related to different subjects, because we couldn't just be teaching the content. We needed to develop skills in our students that allow them to participate in the regular classroom and work in an autonomous way. Also, now we are in a finish education training, that training finish approach to special education that is really similar with what we already are doing. So we have our staff, our team is with a special education teacher that it's a content support, helps differentiate its instructions, monitors accommodations and modifications, create the individual or group curricular plan for the workshops based on the ministerial learning objectives, and plan and evaluate group workshops on different subjects. But all of this, it has to be communicated to the head teacher and all the other teachers that are working with each student. We have a special education technicians that collaborates in the classroom with us, like co-teaching, actively supports the special education teacher to care for the children, make some materials, and be a part of the class if needed. We have also a nurse technician for us for special needs, because we have students that need support in the basic hygiene needs, like bladder catheterization, or with going to the bathroom, or mobility, etc. Teachers that are really important in this. They support the implementation of the curricular adjustment. They work collaboratively with special teachers, therapists, and family. They are the channel that communicates all of them, and it has to be aware of the information about the students' diagnosis, their needs, their challenges, their abilities, etc. And intervene in the learning process by modifying what is necessary in the classroom and provide support and guidance within the classroom. And also we work with a psychologist. They are in charge of the emotional state of all the community, students, families, and teachers. They monitor the application of our social emotional program, and also implement with the special teachers workshops to develop social skills in students with special needs, and carry out awareness sessions for the different courses. Our methodology, we have different ways of supporting our students. The first one is the differentiate evaluation protocol. That is, it must be requested from the family, and we ask for reports, medical reports or specialty reports, to do this differentiated evaluation protocol for those students diagnosed by a complete professional. It includes induction to teachers regarding its administration, as well as communication to the students' parents. The objective is to provide learning opportunities to students with some temporary or permanent educational need. Here in Lincoln, we work differently between the permanent educational needs and the temporary. The temporary are supported by the school psychologist, with the DAI department or Department of Integral Support, and the student that has permanent need is supported by the special needs teacher. Also, we have pedagogical support workshops that I already told you, aiming at those students who require more personalized work so they can participate in the classroom and in the society. And we have also talks for parents and support groups that are activities that include all the families so they can make a group of support between them, share some things that are common, or also ask us for different topics that they want to get to know about. And the objective is to promote an intimate space to support parents belonging to the special needs program. And finally, we have the extracurricular activities that are the social skills or art therapy workshops, which promotes participation as part of the community, respecting social norms and courtesy, respecting others, participating in the community. And the objective is to promote inclusive interpersonal relationships in our community. These workshops are divided by cycle also. So some keys in special needs is that we are seeking for the attention to diversity with differentiation. This means that we can change the way we are working some content, the way that we are evaluating. We also can change the environment if it's necessary. It's important to have a team management, involve the different actors and levels of the school so that it's a shared task. It's not only the responsibility of the special teacher or the psychologist. It's all the school must be involved in this process. And also the train the driven team as agents of change. You have to see inclusion as a process. There are no 100% inclusive schools because there are many ways to do it. There's not a recipe. It's hard to be 100% inclusive school. You have to take many steps to get there. You have to do a very good collaborative work and exchange of good practices between different participants. You have to be flexible to search for improvement. You have to be able to listen to the community, and the parents, most importantly, because they are the ones that are looking for the best for their children. So it has to be a process where everyone involves in it and participates actively. And the interdisciplinary work move towards collaborative and interdisciplinary work between teachers and specialists, because teachers are really specialists on what they do inside the classroom, the contents, different ways of teaching, but we also can share other strategies with the specialists like language therapists, physical therapists, etc. Allow the generation of spaces for learning communities that promote organizational and collective learning. And how we do this, how we work with our students. We work through curricular adjustments. We have the accommodations that here in Lincoln, the accommodations are used more for temporary needs. This is a way of changing or changes that are made in the way in which the student receives the information and allows them to meet the same expectations of others. We can do environment accommodation, like access ramps for students that are on a wheelchair, presentation of information, how we give the information to the students with visual aids, videos, etc., audiobooks, organization of time and schedule. We can organize the time in different ways, support with images, underline keywords, and other ways. And most of our students in the special need program, mostly in the mixed and special ed program, has modifications that they are changes that are made to the information or the content that is taught to a specific student. We can change the learning objective established in the curricular basis. We can adjust how we're going to work with that content or objective. Kids who receive modifications are not as expected to learn the same material as their classmates. We can be using another kind of material, but seeking to the same goal. We can do graduation of the level of complexity. If I have 2 texts, I'm going to work only one. Prioritization of objectives and contents, timing, give him more time or her, curriculum enrichment, and elimination of learning. Inside the classroom, we can do these adjustments. We can work with the size, vary the size of the letter or spaces in the activities based on the needs of the student. We can give more time or reduce the number of items that the student must complete. In participation, we can allow different forms of participation. Supports vary the amount of individualized support to enhance autonomy. It's really important that is to try to do it by their own and learn how to do it and experience. We can vary or modify the way the student must respond. They can do oral, written, or different kinds of tests or activities. The input, we can change the way the instruction is given with differentiation, and the complexity vary the level of competences and demand to complete the task. It's really important that when we work with students that have some kind of need, temporary or permanent need, it can be emotionally, it can be because it has a condition, but we have to be able to see what are my students' learning needs and his or her interests. That's really important. Work on that interest. Use those interests to achieve the things that we want to. What learning and skills has my student developed? How is my student doing socially and emotionally? It's really important because sometimes students want to be a part of their classroom, wants to be and to share with his peers, and that affects the other part that has to be with knowledge. If my student is not doing socially and emotionally well, it's hard to ask him for have a good result in academics. How does my student connect with his environment and community? Is he or she being part of it community? How? What support does my student need? That's really important to get to know our students. If we are going to receive a new student, we can have a meeting with the teacher that had him or her before and ask him about it and how things that work, things that didn't work, and how they do it. How we work here in special needs. We use different methods to support our students. It's not that we use them like completely, but we take the things that are good for us. We have the teach method, the global reading method, phonetic methods. We work based on individual plans and goals. Our workshops have a structured curricular plan. We have English in context. So we use English all the time, but we also have students that have trouble with English. So some classes we do it in Spanish, in their mother tongue, in the resource room, but we always try that they have some vocabulary that allows them to participate in the regular classroom, like following some instructions and knowing how they can communicate with their classmates and teachers. The teach method, I don't know if some of you know it, but is for autistic students and related communication handicapped children. It works based on visual and structured teaching approach, organization of the physical environment, predictable sequence of activities, visual schedules and routines, visually structured activities. Here are pictures of our classrooms materials that support our students on their daily routine and the activities they are going to do. Also activities that are related to the content so they can work it independently. And here this student is working with numbers while the rest of the class is also working in math with numbers. But this is a way that he can work alone with not that much of support. We also use the global reading method that is visually recognized in a global way the word. The idea is that students can recognize a large number of written words and also understand their meaning. The idea is that we use personalized like vocabulary because it's more easy for the student or the child to understand it if it's related with their environment and their own experience or interest. It consists in 4 stages: discriminating and perceptual. First, they have to recognize if a picture is the same or different, and then we start adding words completely. They have the global recognition of words and phrases. And then in the part 3, they start with the recognition of syllables that allow them to form the word. And finally, the reading progress that allows them to read phrases or short text. I have here some examples of some evaluations that we adapt. The example that I already told you that I was going to show, the student profile, and the curricular plan that we use for the workshops. For example, here, let me know if you can see it, is a formative evaluation of plans. Here in Lincoln, we have formative evaluations previously for the summative evaluation. So this is a formative.
Sorry, it's just to say, it's been really good presentation, and I know that you want to wrap up, but just maybe it would be good to wrap up in a few minutes, because that
Yes.
way we give chance for questions and answers. Sorry to interrupt.
Yes, I'm almost finishing. Can you see the test, the formative test? Okay,
Yes.
so this is the formative test of a third grade for all the class. Okay, you can see it have 4 alternatives. Some writing. Then we have the accommodation. It's the same content. Same questions. No, this one is the same as the last one. It's the same, it didn't open. No, it's not opening the one that is adapted. Wait. Let me see if I can show you the curricular plan. This is the curricular plan, the workshops. We have the learning objectives, and then the indicators of evaluation. So this is a plan that we give to the parents so they can know what we're working on the workshops, and also teachers have to manage this so they can support the students. And the student profile, the last one. If you can see, it's like all the important information, the schedule of the student. If it's in the regular classroom, where it says taller, is because it is in the resource classroom. The time that is in a regular classroom and resources classroom, the text that is going to use, the accommodations that we are going to make in the environment, ways of answering, organization of the time, etc. Some strategies of how to support the student in the classroom. And as I was saying before, the weekly plan, in which hour the student is going to be responsible for the teacher or the special teachers who have to prepare the materials, who have to do the evaluation, etc. And some key ideas, I'm finishing up. Inclusion is a process. There is no such thing as a completely inclusive school at once. You have to promote co-responsibility. The student is for all the school, is not only for the special needs team. You have to protect the collaborative workspaces, because teachers have many work, so you have to seek for those spaces. Promote customizable, not personalized education. Is really hard to think that you are going to be able to work in an individually way inside the classroom when you have 30 students or 25 students. So you can do differentiation, you can prepare material for that student so he can participate of the dynamic of the classroom. Inform and engage the entire community, create relevant and strategic alliances, evaluation and diversified teaching, and define and implement adjustments that are reasonable. You have to see the special students as persons with strength and abilities, not like a person lacking of something, in order to help students not only think on the visible behavior, but also all kinds of challenges, difficulties, and situational issues. Be interested, ask hobbies or strengths or interests. recognize teachable moments. Flexibility and differentiation, simulate and allow movement, use timers and short breaks, let students use aids and manipulatives, also in tests if needed. They can use the timetables if they need it. Small details matter. If you have a special needs children in your classroom, if you can make him feel part of it, that's what matters. Questions?
Wow, thank you so much, Michelle, and thank you for the last phrase that I think that really sums up everything that you have said. So interesting to see how you have all of this, schedule, and to see how everything is organized, and with this proven canvas that you were telling me about. So very well done.
Thank you.
Yes, if you have any questions, anyone, please. In the meantime, if there's anyone that wants to send a question, yeah, really interesting, everyone is saying. So I wanted to ask you, Michelle, what have been, a nice success story?
Look, I have a video. I don't know if we have time, but I have a video of a student that started in the specialized program that it was nonverbal, and now he's like the best student of 8th grade. I don't know
wow.
if we have time.
If it is short, I think that we can play it. In the meantime, let's see if anyone else has any questions.
Okay,
If
I'm
not,
going
maybe
to
we can finish with the video.
I will show you the one that this is when he was starting.
There's no sound, sorry.
There's no sound. There?
No.
Well, he's only just making some noises because he was nonverbal. Let me see if you can listen to him now. Can you listen to that? No?
No.
Oh. Oh. Well, I don't know what's happening, but he won the spelling bee contest. So he's showing his trophy, and he's really happy because he had the third place, sorry, in this competence that it was between other schools.
Wow,
So
that's
he was, I am sorry that you can't listen to it, but it was a student that started in our specialized program that was nonverbal, and with the specialized support, he had so many advance that we removed him from the specialized program and moved him back to the regular program, and he is doing really well. He's really happy. He has good relationships with his peers. He's part of every activity in school. And also we have a student that is going to do the PAES. I don't know if you know what is PAES. Is the test that you take here in Chile to get to the university. And he is autistic. Everybody thought that he was not going to be able to go to the university, but with all the support we gave him through all his years, he reached his full potential, and now he is going to study in the university that he chose. and is going to give this test with his classmates. That's really important.
Wonderful. What an improvement and very nice success stories. Thank you so much for sharing, Michelle, these success stories. And it's really, really important to see how students can really progress if they are in the right environment, in the right school, with the right direction, I guess. Isabel is asking, what rights do parents or guardians have in the decisions that are made about the student, and how can parents participate?
Well, we constantly meet with parents. We have like in 3 meetings a year with them, and they decide if they agree that their children or their son goes to the program that we are asking them, because sometimes they feel that they prefer their children to be in the regular classroom, sharing with peers and being like included socially, and we have to respect that, but we try to make them or understand that it's really important also the academic part, so they can develop and have the ability to continue growing with their peers. Also, parents have meetings with the headmaster once a month, so they can be part of the decisions we make about the programs, the way we work, the needs that they are seeing in our school regarding their children. So they are able to communicate with us constantly. And they can deny receiving the support if they want, but they have to know that that's not going to be good for the children.
Yes. Well, that's good. It's good that you are in constant contact with the parents and that they have a say, and that
Yes.
they follow your professional advice. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you,
Thank you so
everyone.
much for this opportunity.
No, thank you. It was very, very good, very informative. Thank you so much for such a wonderful presentation. And yes, so thanks everyone who was also engaging. Thank you. There's the information and your details. Thanks for that. And we will have panel number 1 of this 4th bilingual conference this afternoon at 5:30. It'll be with Professor Jorge Chacon, a teacher of English, St. Champion Venezuela and Chile from the British Council, and also with Carolina Ortiz, who is English as a second language is teacher from Cosmo Inclusión. And it will be moderated by our wonderful Joaquin Triandafilide, who is the director of ACNAP here in Chile. So that will be in about 17 minutes. So if you want to have a break, have a coffee, have a rest, and then we will be back in about 17 minutes time. Thanks, everyone.